All right, welcome to episode 47 of the Kevin Burke Project. Listen, I need your full cooperation and total attention because there are 5 things I would like to mention. Let me start with Ben Simmons. I'm sure he's going through a lot right now, man. I'm sure he's going through a lot, and I don't want to pile on to whatever he's going through. I just want to say, I've been saying this for years, like his rookie season, his second season. Like, how can you be a primary ball handler and be unwilling to shoot the ball? The ball is going to be in your hands the majority of the time. There's going to come a time where you have to shoot the ball for the team's benefit. If you can't shoot, therefore you're unwilling to shoot, why would the team give you a max contract? It's not even his fault. Like, why like the Sixers, elevated him to this pedestal, put like a false sense of superstar on him, and it's not even his fault. So you got him paired next to Joel Embiid, supposed to be, the process in the future, but one guy has a glaring hole in his game. I've been saying this for a while. And when the Sixers had a coaching vacancy before they brought Doc Rivers in, if you recall, they brought in Mike D'Antoni. And I'm like, why in the world are you going to bring in Mike D'Antoni to coach Ben Simmons? Mike D'Antoni's philosophy has been pace and space and spreading the ball and shooting threes. That's been his philosophy of late. So you're gonna interview a guy like Mike D'Antoni, where again your primary ball handler is unwilling to shoot the ball. That doesn't make any sense. And again, I'm trying to be delicate. I'm not one of them, I don't want to pile on Ben, and I know it's cool and it's fashionable to give Ben Simmons a hard time. Are they gonna trade him? This, that, and the third. His trade value couldn't be any worse now, couldn't be any lower. So I don't know who you're trading him to for that type of contract. But I will say this. Give him a break, give him a pass, because this mental health thing is real. Athletes coming out lately just saying that, just being more open about mental health issues they're going through is real. And so we should, Ben is a human, man. Let's just give him a break. This is basketball. It's not that serious. So it's fair to critique him, but just remember, he is on the receiving end of this, and it could impact him mentally. And we don't want in 20 years him to go silent and then come back, with YouTube videos ripping people apart who gave him a hard time. Kind of like how Kwame Brown is doing. And listen, I've been, Kwame broke his silence at this point probably 2 months ago, and I've been quiet on it. I haven't said anything about it because I don't want him to, see one of these videos and come at me. But his overall point is that, let's go back to the beginning. Like he first took aim at Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and his initial point was, you guys have a platform, and you're choosing to tear down another black man with your words on your platform. Like, that was his only problem, his only beef. And for 20 years, he's been a punching bag. You want to talk about going through mental health issues? Kwame Brown has been the biggest punchline probably in the history of the NBA. For anybody not named Sam Bowie, it's probably Kwame Brown. It's probably Sam Bowie number 1, and then Kwame Brown number 2. So he's been quiet for 20 years. He hasn't said anything, and he came out just blazing, knocking everybody down, right? Anybody in his way, he's been taking them down. And the guy who really got it started even before Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, of course, was Stephen A. Smith. He went on that rant on ESPN about how he didn't think Kwame Brown was any good. I know you know the one I'm talking about. And so Stephen A. catches wind of Kwame reacting to everything. And what does Stephen A. do in 2021? He goes on his show and shows a 2-minute montage of Kwame Brown's bloopers on the basketball court. Like, that's his whole point. His entire point is that you're using your platform to tear down another black man. That's essentially what he said. His words, not mine. And now we gotta be very careful, because another one of his points, like when you label a former athlete as bust, there is no coming back from that. That's why we haven't seen Sam Bowie in 30 years or however long it's been since he was in the spotlight. Like, you don't see these guys anymore. When you label a former athlete a bust and all they know is the sport, that made them famous, they can never work in that sport again as an analyst, as a coach, scout, nothing. Because as an analyst, people are going to say, why would I listen to you? You're a bust. As a coach, the players will say, why would I listen to you? You are a bust. You can never work again in your sport. It's done. It's a death sentence. It's a death knell. You can never work in it again. Now, so labeling somebody a bust is dangerous because you're hurting their livelihood for the rest of their lives. They can never make money again in that sport. And if that's all they know, they got to pivot and sell insurance or become a real estate agent. They got to come up with something else to make money moving forward. But Kwame has probably flipped the game. Like what he's doing right now, his YouTube channel, he's talking about some crazy stuff with Judge Joe Brown. That's a little off the wall. But if I'm somebody who has a platform right now, I want Kwame Brown on my platform, hosting the podcast, hosting the show, because he has never been hotter. So he is the one guy who is rewriting all of this. And you know what? I hope it works out for him. But all of this, the Ben Simmons potentially and Kwame Brown, like all that is, like I said, it's all about mental health, and it's all about it's fun, and it used to be, it's largely looked at as fun and funny to poke fun at these guys and these women. It's not. I mean, look at Naomi Osaka. She's withdrawing from tournaments. Arguably one of the top 3 tennis players in the world. Withdrawing from tournaments because she does not want to talk to the media after a match. Like she doesn't want to have to potentially lose a match and sit up there and answer questions about the match that she just lost. Like it weighs so heavily on her. It's too soon. It's too fresh. She doesn't want to do it. So she'll skip media sessions and they'll actually fine her. And so now she's skipping tournaments. She's saying to be with her friends and family. I think it's because she doesn't want to deal with the issues, the mental health issues that comes along with all of this. Her words, not mine. So it's real, this whole thing, mental health and athletes. So generally with these first 3 topics, I'll say, yeah, they're here to entertain us, but if something goes left, something goes awry, it's not that serious. They're still humans. Just take it easy. But switching gears entirely to baseball. I don't know what's going on with baseball, man. I don't know what's going on, man. You got, and the issue with baseball right now is that baseball is the cheatingest sport ever. Cheating is not even a word, but it's a word right now, right? Managers can request from the umpire to check a pitcher for foreign substances, for sticky stuff, basically. I think he's touching his hat. He's touching his hair. Go check him for sticky stuff. They checked Max Scherzer 3 times in one game to see if he had sticky stuff because manager of the Phillies, Joe Girardi, thought that Max was touching his head and touching his hat too much, so he thought maybe he had some sticky stuff he was putting on the ball. They checked this dude 3 times. They checked him right in the middle of the field. You got 50,000 people on the in the stadium. Game could potentially be nationally televised, and you got to do Max Scherzer is ready to strip down to his jaws to prove that he has no sticky stuff. I just feel like if you gotta check him, there's gotta be a better way to do it than just randomly checking this guy in the middle of the game. Now he's upset. The sport looks crazy. The umpire is literally rubbing in his hair. How much does a major league umpire make? Because he's got to rub Max Scherzer's thinning hair to feel if he's got sticky stuff in it. That is in the job description. When these umpires went to Indeed.com to fill out an application for an umpire, they were like, okay, check sticky, rub your hair for sticky stuff. How much these guys get paid? Is it worth it? My only point is there's got to be a better way to mitigate any sort of foul play by pitchers other than making a mockery of the game. And I don't think baseball is in a position for any more mockeries in the face of being a cheating sport. They got to figure something else out. All right, my last topic real quick before I get out of here. Kevin Durant is getting into it with Scottie Pippen. They're going back and forth on Twitter. Scottie Pippen said something about KD. He was playing too much hero ball. That's why he lost the series against the Bucks. And then KD hops back he jumps back at Scottie and says, You're the same guy who didn't want to come in the game because the coach didn't draw up the play for you. I've never seen a superstar so disliked potentially by former players. He gets into it with everybody. Shaq, Charles, Scottie. When it's all said and done, he'll be great, but I feel like it's going to be like the older players, there's going to be a stigma around KD that he could not get along with the older players, and you know what? His reputation can't afford any more hits.